Am I the a-hole for punching my stepdaughter after she played a prank on me that scared me? I know the title sounds bad, but please read and throw away, plus fake names. I, 38M, married Judd, 44F, a few years ago, and I acquired a stepdaughter, Abby, 14F, as a result. I dated Judd when Abby was 8, met her when she was 9, and married Judd when she was 10. I'd say our relationship is okay. She doesn't act bratty towards me and respects me enough as her mom's husband. However, there is one glaring issue about her, and that is her pranking nature. Abby loves to pull pranks. Some examples are her hiding my car keys with what looked like 100 dubs in a box. I found them quickly because she failed to notice my keys have duct tape on them. Another one is when she hid in the fridge, something I still find very weird, to scare the first person who opened it. Well, last Wednesday, I arrived home, and it seemed that I was the only one there. Only my shoes were at the doorstep, and I even called out Judd's and Abby's names with no answer. This is somewhat normal, as Judd sometimes works late, and Abby stays at school for extracurriculars. So I screwed around with my dog, a German Shepherd and Husky mix for anyone that will ask, for a bit, and then I decided to relive myself. When I got to the bathroom, I noticed that the window cabinet was open. I thought nothing of it at first and unzipped my pants, but then I saw a shadow behind the shower curtains. I thought the worst and immediately punched the figure behind the curtains. Well, as everyone may have guessed it from the title, it was Abby. She was making a prank video, and I had not noticed that she propped her phone up on the bathroom cabinet with 2 cups. I'm not gonna lie, I did not hold back. I punched her as hard as I could. Her nose looked broken, and when I realized it, I flipped out, and so did she. After maybe 5 minutes of freaking out, I drove her to urgent care and informed Judd of the situation. Her nose was indeed broken and would need about 6 to 12 weeks of recovery. Abby won't talk to me, and as for Judd, she thinks that my action may have been justified but also thinks I should have approached with more caution, which she has refused to elaborate on. So am I the a-hole? Update, 11 days later. Well, this blew up big time. Let's address a few things. Abby's pranking nature isn't just situated on me. She has pulled pranks on her friends, the neighbors, and at school. The school has called Judd several times about this, as they have resulted in mild vandalism. The refrigerator prank. She was 11 when that happened, not a grown teenager. It was a brand new and very large fridge that my uncle bought and showed off to everyone. So she climbed in until he opened it again. Judd yelled at her, saying that she could have suffocated in there, and took her outside to scold her for a few hours. The video doesn't show the toilet at all, just the shower curtain. However, the issue still remains that this was a massive invasion of privacy. The video has been deleted, and Abby has admitted it was purely her fault. The update. It's been a chaotic week. Judd still refused to elaborate on how the situation should have been handled. I showed the post as a result, and she did a 180 turn. She suddenly thought it may be time to stage an intervention, and I agreed. We brought some of her friends, as well as my cousin's wife, Jess. Jess is an officer from another state, and Abby seems to respect her. In this intervention, we state how we were each affected by her various pranks and how in turn they affected her. Jess also spoke about how much of these pranks border on criminal territory, meaning she could be arrested or face retaliation. It seemed to have gotten to her, and Abby cried a bit and promised to do better. When everybody else left, Jess stayed behind and brought to our attention about a disciplinary camp that we could send her to. The program is 6 weeks long and involves group therapy, individual therapy, and constructive projects, whatever that means, and is held at a university campus. The program apparently has good reviews. Judd seems dead set in sending her to figure out her core problems. I'm a little hesitant about sending a kid away from home, but I'm the step-parent, so I got no say. Edit/update. Okay, I swear Judd must be following my posts because now she's taking back what she said and is now thinking about doing what I and you fellow Redditors suggested in the first place, weekly therapy. So we agreed that I'm going to find a therapist and I'm going to front the bill for it since she didn't take this seriously in the first place. Relevant comments. Commenter. Sent away seems extreme. Have you looked into this program? Is it held at a religious college? She might just end up abused at some of these type of teen rehabilitation camps and also just exposed to kids that are worse. I realize it might not be your call, but I would suggest try local therapy first way before sending a kid off. And I agree, sending a kid away from home will probably just damage them more. But Judd seems intent on dishing out the harshest punishment, immediately thinking that this will nip it at the bud. Or she doesn't want to be seen as an enabler. She changed opinions real fast when I showed her the original post. On why he chose physical violence. Well, I thought she was a junkie who invaded my home, but okay. I'll be more cautious next time. Enlighten me. What steps should I take next time? Commenter. Wait, why do you have to pay for her kid's therapy when she didn't take her behavior seriously? That doesn't make any sense. Because she doesn't know how to find therapists. She just wants to send Abby away. Commenter. Hasn't she ever heard of Google? Sounds like weaponized incompetence. Oop. The program is free. Jess said that she could enroll Abby in for free. That most definitely played a part in Judd wanting to send her there. Update. Well, it's been 7-ish months, and there have been a few developments. Let's address some more things before getting there. Up until recently, I have been still getting DMs asking why is this brat still in my house, why am I friends with Jess, and why did I name my wife Judd in my posts? I was drinking when I made my first post. I saved a draft and went back to it after a few hours of sobering up, fixing a bunch of grammatical mistakes, but clearing some got overlooked, and it just stuck. I was planning on calling her Judy. Jess and I are not friends. She married to my cousin, who I do have a good relationship with, as well as their 2 daughters and Jess's daughter. Jess has a serious problem with boundaries. As for why Abby was still living with me, you have to understand, her stepfather, broke Abby's, my stepdaughter's, nose. If word got out it would look really bad, I would be seen as an abuser, and may have even been arrested. Several comments have pointed this out, how I should have saved that video for my own safety. I was pretty much going insane at that point, and my wife thought nothing of it, thinking I should have just let this go until I showed her my original post. To be honest, I wanted to keep the intervention that we had smaller, that didn't involve her friends, because I felt they did not need to know about it. I just wanted her grandparents and Jess to show up, but I was convinced otherwise. Updates. We decided that we would send Abby to weekly therapy. We were under the agreement that I would find and pay for it, and if it worked my wife would pay me back. It did work. Abby improved by a lot. She has realized how much damage she has done and working to improve things. She has even begun to do volunteer work, as well, which I didn't think she would do. She has apologized profusely, realizing how disgusting her prank was. She has also deleted her TikTok account, Calming. That's where she got all the ideas from. We decided we would get her a new smartphone for her birthday 3 months ago for the improvement she's shown. We took away all smart devices as punishment. I don't think I mentioned that before. As for me and my wife, I gave her an ultimatum. Since therapy worked for Abby, it would be time we go to couples therapy or else we separate. We were having problems before this whole incident showed up, and now it kind of has to be forced. Past 2 years, we've been living more like roommates, and her enabling behavior is finally causing things to fall apart. She reluctantly agreed. It ended up being short-lived. She spoke during our sessions how I take things out of proportion, and I went too far posting the incident online. She revealed that she was indeed following my posts, and that's why she changed her mind about the camp. Our therapist then asked us both if we loved each other at all. I was honest and said yes, but it's becoming difficult. My wife, on the other hand, said she was in love with the idea of me. I needed a minute if I heard that right, and she went on how I was apparently a catch. I was younger than her, had a stable job, and owned a house, and she thought my loyalty was a bonus. I don't know why, but I asked her if she cheated on me, and she said no. But it doesn't matter. She just revealed that she settled for me. I filed for divorce 2 months ago. We had a prenup, so things are going smoothly, other than her erroneously claiming some jewelry is hers, but my lawyer seems to think that it should finalized within 1 to 2 months. So my STBX has moved out along with Abby. My dog misses them. She just sits by the door waiting for hours for them to come back. Specs is not happy about how things have progressed. She has been calling me a spineless bastard who couldn't just tolerate how things are, and has been saying to everyone who will listen. But behind closed doors, she's been blaming Abby for her divorce, claiming it was her behavior that caused it. I know this because she has called me and texted me semi-regularly. Abby is living with her grandparents because apparently her mother can't deal with her right now. I actually like my in-laws. They were real good people, and they've apologized for their daughter's actions and even offered to reimburse me for Abby therapy sessions. They told me that they were going to take care of Abby because it seems her mother has finally lost it. I spoke with Abby and assured her that this wasn't her fault. Chances are we were going to divorce regardless. She then told me that she didn't want me to leave and that I was the closest thing to father she ever had. This surprised me. I never really saw myself as a parental figure for Abby. I only really did the minimal. Outside of that, I just paid for school events, supplies, and would carve out some time for her, but I did leave it up to her if she wanted to spend time with me. I told her that maybe when she turns 18 we can pick up where we left off, but until then, I don't think we can see each other. Her mother would definitely try to keep her away from me, and to be honest, I need some time away from Abby as well. Things are so quiet at home that it's relaxing. So there you go. I don't even care if my SDBX finds this post. TLDR. Send Abby to therapy. It worked, but now me and her mother are divorcing, and things are just falling apart. Story 2. Am I the a-hole for defending and praising my daughter when she broke a bully's nose trying to defend a kid? In the title I said my daughter, cause this little angel of 7 years isn't mine biological, but she is the daughter of my best friend who died of cancer, and he asked me to take care of her like she was mine. It's a very long, boring, and too emotional story to be explained to her. Sophie is my whole world. She is sweet, kind, always have unlimited energy, sometimes too much ahaha, and most of all, she always defends the other ones. She is the exact copy of my best friend, and sometimes when she sleeps I watch her, and I cry cause I think at her father, and it's just like a piece of me died, and she is remembering it. Anyway, my parents were, and still are, strongly against my choice and my promise cause I'm too young and too unexperienced to deal with an enormous thing like this, and well, they always find something that isn't right. The way I dress her, the values I try to teach her, the way she plays, so basically nothing is good for them, but don't worry, it's the habit, and I learned to deal with it, ha ha ha. But yesterday what I said in the title happened. She was playing in the garden of the school with her bestie, Mary, when she heard a kid yelling, "Stop, you're hurting me, leave me alone," and when she got near, she saw a kid bullying a guy and kicking him on the body. Here comes the thing that I teached her. If you warn someone for 3 times to stop it, and she doesn't listen, you can teach her the meaning of the word stop. And this is what happened. She told the kid 3 times to stop, and at the 3rd warning the kid pushed her down and tried to kick her too, but she reacted by throwing a punch and breaking the little kid's nose. Now, before anyone says it, I know by myself that violence isn't an option, and we all shouldn't react in that way, but sometimes it's necessary to make the bully learn the lesson. When I got the call from a school, and they said they wanted to talk with me, immediately I got worried and started to think at the worst, but when I arrived and they told me what happened, I was confused cause, like I told them, since when punishing someone that stands up and try to help the bullied one is to condemn and punish, I told them the same thing, that violence isn't the option, and I told them that I will have a talk with Sophie about what happened and teach her that what she did wasn't right. But you know what? I'm proud of her. I'm proud that she stands up and helps the others. Obviously, I told her that violence isn't a solution and all this stuff, but I'm proud of my daughter. As you can imagine, for my parents was the end of the fucking world. Their words, "WTF, are you teaching her? Do you want her to be a criminal? Is this what we thought you?" And this kind of BS. I tried to explain them my point, but obviously they didn't even let me explain, and now to them I'm like a criminal that teaches a little girl how to kill. So am I the a-hole? Edit. Wow. I would never bet a cent on the fact that there were many people on my side because I know the internet, and I know that we are all a bit saints when this thing happens, but it's nice to see that many people are honest. So thank you all for your support and for your advices on the relathianship with my parents. Relevant/top comments. Did the school explain what the punishment the bully was getting? OP. I didn't mention it because it wasn't the point, but after a long hour of talk and me menacing to sue them, the bully was suspended because it wasn't the first time this accident happened, and sincerely, I don't get why no one ever thought that the kid was a problem. And Sophie got 3 days of after-school detention. Commenter 1. Let me be the first to shout NTA, and of course to remind you to teach her more nuanced awareness of law enforcement as she gets older. Commenter 2. NTA and good job. You are doing a great job parenting her. Tell the school that they need to do better about bullying behaviors from kids, and don't back down. Your parents need to calm down and quit being foolish. You should be proud of yourself. I'm proud of you. Keep moving forward. Update sad face next day. I want again to thank you and tell you how much I appreciate your support and ideas from the last post cause I wasn't expecting it. Some of you made me think, and I did what I usually do when I have thoughts. I went to my grandparents for some real support and confrontation. I always do this, and they know it, so they are always ready for me, ha ha ha. So this morning I advised them that I would be there to have a talk with them, and they were super happy mostly, or entirely, ha ha ha, because I was bringing Sophie too, and they absolutely love and adore her, ha ha ha. Sophie was very happy, and excited too, for visiting them, ha ha ha. Once there, obviously, they hugged and kissed her like I wasn't existing for those 10 minutes, and then my grandpa went to play with her, and I remained alone to have a talk with my grandma. I told her what happened and all the mess, and she without hesitation asked me if I did something alone with Sophie, and what I told her. I told her that I brought my little angel for an ice cream, because no matter what the school said, I was proud of her standing up and defending the bullied kid, and we spent the whole day together doing fun stuff. She said that she was proud too of Sophie, and gave me a new perspective on what happened that I would never thought about. Then we obviously remained for lunch, and my grandma, like always, made a wedding lunch, like me and Sophie weren't eating since 40 years, haha. We remained there a few more hours, and we all played together until a few minutes ago. I brought Sophie to a friend's house for a party. I still don't know whose is the party and why there is a party, but okay, ha ha ha. But the thing that my grandma told me, and I'm still thinking about, is my parents' immediate angry and aggressive reaction to what happened, like I was teaching Sophie the worst things on this planet. So I thought about it a lot and finally understood what my grandma was trying to say. Is all about my relathianship with my parents and how much I care for their opinion. I admit that I love to hear people's opinion, but the mistake that I'm making is to give too much value to what my parents think, and not that much on what I think is right or not. I know that they're my parents, and of course what they say is important, but like my grandma said, honey, you're not 14 anymore, you're almost 30, and you have a daughter with you. It's time you make your own life, your own choices, your own mistakes. Your parents will forever tell you what they want and not what you want to hear. So stop bothering yourself about what they think and start to think with your own mind about your life and not theirs. For how much is difficult to admit, but she's right, like always I would say ha ha ha. And it's true that I rely a lot on them, but it's because they are my parents and their words have an importance. So I don't know, maybe it's because I'm afraid to be a failure in their eyes, but Grandma is absolutely right. I need to make my own life and my own decisions, and I have every intention to do it. So nothing just this. Just a simple talk with my grandma made me realize a lot of things, like always, and to me it was fair to let you know too. Top comments. Commenter 1, family dynamics and advice from grandparents. This post has it all. Glad to hear everything worked out, and your daughter is a badass defender. Here's hoping she uses her skills for good and not evil. Commenter 2, Granny is wise. Great idea to go and see her. Perspective is always good. So, carry on with your daughter, you're doing a great job. Commenter 3, it's not like you are teaching her to go around punching everyone or picking fights. She came to the defense of someone in need. Get Wonder Woman a cape. She was that kid's hero. She will be able to take care of herself and others in a world devaluing everyone, especially women. Keep it up and maybe get her into martial arts to refine those skills.